thank our crowd for coming. I've been really impressed during this home stretch with our crowd. We've had some good attendance for home games. I've seen some home games on television. You can shoot a shotgun and not hit anybody. And so I've been impressed with the support that we're getting. Coming into the game, I knew Mark's team was going to be ready to play. They had a really nice road win against Ball State. I think he's doing a really good job with his team, and I'm glad he got a second chance at it. You know, Mark was a young head coach in Northern Illinois, and then didn't work out, but he went back to Coach Izzo, and now he's back in Detroit, and inherited a team that I think won, one or two games, and they're going to be good. And they got a young team, and they play really hard. I thought they were really connected coming in. They know their roles. They can really drive it, and they got some guys that can shoot the three. I thought defensively we were pretty darn solid the entire game. We defended a team really well that drives the ball really well. You know, we defended the three. They shot 37% from three coming in. They were shooting 50% from three over the last 3 games. I think we held them to 26. We had to play a small team. We still had 10 blocks, really good effort defensively. They only got 2 points in transition. I thought we started off the game good offensively. That helped us. DC got us going, and Hunter. We had 16 assists on 24 baskets. 75% of our baskets were assisted with only 5 turnovers. A week ago today, we had 18. I thought it was great to see Hunter break out from 3, and then just overall, he looked really good. I was happy for him. I thought he played great. But we had some really, again, some funky lineups. I'm going to say this. I'm going to give my players a lot of credit. We didn't prepare to have that lineup out there today. I mean, I didn't know Efton wasn't going to play till 40 minutes before tip because he practiced on Thursday, he practiced on Friday, and he was at shoot-around today. And so, again, we had to throw out there some weird lineups, and when they went zone, a lot of those plays, you know, I got Cam at the 4, sometimes I even had Juke at the 5, and, you know, there's a lot of standing, I get it, and there's something we're going to have to, you know, fix. But I give them a lot of credit for overcoming that and not, you know, not even thinking about it, just going out there and playing. And I'll give them credit for that. Questions?
So what's going through your mind when in the first half Cam's going to the locker room, while Cam's in the locker room, Hunter's got a bloody nose, and you don't have Efton Reed, and you learn that 40 minutes before tip?
You know, honestly, Josh, I don't even think about that stuff. I'm just always the next man up guy. I knew what was going on. It happened last year against Elon, and by the way, you saw what they did last night. I mean, look, a lot of teams lose these games, okay? You can count them all over the country. And so, you know, we had a pretty quality opponent, and we went through a lot of adversity and kept punching, you know. And, Cam was out, Hunt was bleeding, F's not playing. But I just feel like, hey, next guy, you know, and I don't let that stuff faze me. I just never have.
Steve, I thought the double fist, it's called, with the full court pressure really helped to start the second half.
Going in the second half, got off to a great start, you know, and they, you know, that's the whole thing with pressure. You don't have to steal it every time. Sooner or later, they get tired of it and they give it to you, and that's kind of what happened. They just, you wear down. I'm tired of this guy getting on me the whole time, and I thought we did a good job in that. We turned them over 14 times, you know, and so when you're playing a little bit smaller like we were, then it makes sense.
You just feel like you needed that to start.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get off to a good start, you know, and we did, you know, and then they came back at us, but you know, they never led the game, and you know, pretty much led wire to wire.
Steve, you made mention of the block shots, and but at the same time, I believe you got rebounded by a large margin. What happened there?
Well, I mean, it's obviously an issue. Okay, like defensive transition was an issue for us at the start of the season. We got that fixed. Okay, turnovers was a problem for us. Hopefully, we got that fixed. Okay, we've had 8 and 5. Okay, obviously rebounding is an issue now. You know, no excuses, but when you don't have Efton and Omaha in there, those are 2 guys that you expect to get a lot of defensive rebounds, but they're not. So deal with it. So we've only had 10 practices in 7 games, okay? But we spent the last 2 days on checkouts, not just throw it up there and check out. I'm talking about weak side checkouts where you have to be in help, and then you have to run out there and check your guy. And I don't think we do a very good job of that. I think our guards just turn and look, and I think that we're not aggressive getting those 50-50 balls. And so there's a lot of times we have our hand on the ball, we don't get it. They had 11 offensive rebounds at halftime and then with 14, so it got a little better in the second half. And 5 of those were team rebounds, so 5 of them went out of bounds. But we should have got the ball, and so I think they're quicker to the ball. I think that we got guards leaking out and not rebounding down and not checking out, and then we're just right now we're not really big in there, so we got to go up and get them. And I'm very aware of it. Very aware of it. We've been, what limited time we've had, we've tried very hard to emphasize it, like we have done with the turnovers, like we did with the transition. It's just something we got to get better at fast, because the schedule changes now. We play 6 of our next 9 on the road. We play Florida on Thursday, then we play winner loser Minnesota, Wichita. Then we got to go to A&M. We got to come home and play Boston College. We got to play a good James Madison team. Then we got to go to Clemson. I think we got Miami, Syracuse. It's time. So if we're big, we're small, whatever, figure it out. Get a body on somebody and go get the ball. But you're right. It's a problem.
Steve, I think it was just at the last press conference with you, you talked about Juke being able to play from the 2 to the 4, and then today we see him at the 5. What's next, and how did he do in those roles for you?
I thought he did fine. We tried to run things. We just couldn't run any offense because we had, when you play against zone, we run sets. He can run some continuity stuff. Get in the middle of the court. I mean, that's pretty easy to do, and then flash in there and kick it out or drive it. I thought he played well. I mean, I think offensively, he's a freshman. He's going to learn. You're not getting that call when you drive a baseline and jump into the guy. He's just not getting it. Okay, and that's he's got to not do that. He's got to get on balance. He knocked in one. I don't know. I haven't even looked.
He knocked in his first shot.
Yeah, but look, he did. But DC is 4 for 12. Cam's 1 for 10. And he's 1 for 7. And Parker's 0 for 3. So make shots, and maybe some of it's the quality of it. I don't know. I always have to go back and look at that. But I do think when somebody's like Hunter tonight's getting going like that, get him the ball. And it's like sometimes he doesn't go get it too, and we got to find him when he's on one like that.
And Steve, about Juke, what surprised you the most about him now that everyone thought he was on the team last year. He was here so much.
Yeah. I guess you never know somebody's competitiveness until you coach them. I just thought when he first got here, he was very competitive. Like, he didn't back down from physicality or coaching. I got on his butt at halftime about he had 1 defensive rebound. I said, you come in here with 1, it's going to be a problem. And he did it. He knows. He could take coaching. He's a good teammate. The players like him. He's got the respect of his teammates, which is hard for a freshman to do sometimes. So those things are all positives for him. He's got, like I've said, he's got good size at his position. Now, maybe not at the 5, but at the 2 and the 3, he does. He didn't shrink in the moment against Michigan. He didn't. He played. He pretty much saved us in the first half from being down more. So I think it's probably the way he's been raised. He's got wonderful parents. I told a story to the team the other day. I don't mind sharing it. I was like, and I'll just tell you the shortened version of it. Asking them what kind of person they are. Do they do the little things? Like when you go get your groceries at Harris Teeter, do you take your cart back or do you just leave it there? Or do you just take it back because somebody was looking? Or do you just do the right thing? Right? And so after we talked about those things, and then about 15, 20 minutes, probably about an hour after I got home, I got a video from him putting his cart up in the parking lot. But that doesn't surprise me because that's the way he was raised, and so that made me proud that, not that he would do it, but just that he was listening. And I'm pretty sure he probably did it all the time anyway. I think that's just the type of person that he is.
Good job dropping the sponsors' name.
Are they a sponsor?
Do you
put your cart back up at Harrison?
Well, I'm 1,000 on that, and because I was raised to do things the right way. I pick up trash if I see it. I don't litter. You know, I try to treat people with respect. I try to treat people the way I like to be treated. I try to open doors for people and be. If I see you, unless I'm walking down the hallway to go out to tip, I'm usually pretty talkative. You know, I don't know. I just think that's the way you want to be. You know, and I try to teach them that here. You know, about grace, about being grateful, being respectful, being accountable, being committed, and being enthusiastic. And I tell them all the time, if you don't learn anything from me about basketball, if you just learn to live your life that way, you're going to be pretty good. You know, and even in the identity part, you could flip it to life. You know, play hard, play smart, play together. Live your life hard. Live your life smart. Live your life being a team player. Share the we say share the ball. Well, share the credit. Share the credit. And life's tough, so you're going to have to be gritty, grimy, tough. It's going to throw you some curveballs. Lord knows I know. I went through it last year. You know, grabbing the ball with two hands is a detail thing. It's a detail thing. So, you know, the greatness lies in the details. And then, in the end, execute. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And that's what I was talking about to him about the shopping cart was the true meaning of discipline is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. It's easy to do the right things when your mom and dad are watching or your teachers are watching. True discipline, self-discipline, is when you do right things when nobody else is there to tell you right or wrong. And those are the things I want to teach my players every day. And I also I try to live my life that way so they understand that, you know, they can see an example that I am not perfect. Okay, I'm not. But I try. Every day I get up to live like that. And I guess, you know, I see that in Jude. I see that in a lot of our players. And I hope that's when they leave here, that's that pro humanitate motto that, you know, serving others. That's a great thing, man. That's what we need more of that in our world than it's kind of some of the toxic stuff that I'm seeing right now.
The opposite of toxic might be where you're headed for your tournament next week. What's your experience level with Disney?
Well, I've never been to Disney, only to recruit and to play in that tournament. I got in the finals when we were at Tennessee. We beat Fran McCafferty, Coach Sienna. They were really good. We beat Georgetown with Greg Monroe. And I think we lost in overtime, or I can't remember. It's a long time ago, but to Gonzaga. That's when it was a true 8-team tournament. It's not anymore because of the MTE situations and getting into all that. I've only been to Disney to recruit to AAU. I've never been to Disney World. I've been to Disneyland one time when we first got married 30-some years ago. So I'd like to go, but unfortunately last time we went, when you're an assistant coach, you want the first scout because then it's easy, right? I wish I had Sienna, but I had Gonzaga, right? So I had to scout the entire weekend to get ready for that game. And so now that you're the head coach, you have to scout every game, so I won't be at Disney. One of the cool things I will say, it's a great experience. I don't know if they do it anymore. When we went, it was the night before Thanksgiving. We had a dinner in Disney. They closed the park and opened it up just for the teams. So I did walk through one time with the team. They had some certain rides opened up. I thought that was really special. Now, I don't know if they do that anymore. They don't. Well, shame on them. It was pretty cool. So that's about it with the old Mickey Mouse. It's a roller coaster, I can tell you that. You know, it's like that old thing about putting your finger in the dike. You know, you got the dikes leaking. You stick your finger in it, and then boom, another hole comes flying out. You know, it's like what's next? You know, it's like, you know, I didn't expect that not to play. He's a shooter. I mean, I don't bring my phone in the building. I shut down.